So it's going to be the Germans' turn. We just reshuffled, right? So when you do that, you want to make sure to increase your range chit. So now we're on deck 2. So I want to track that. A new deck is also a trigger for something else. You know, we've been checking for wounds when someone is KIA or routed, okay? So a wounded man, we said, represents somebody who is hurt enough but can keep going, which is very, very few of the people who get hurt because the wounds are usually, or the injuries are usually so severe. So to represent, you know, the debilitating effect of even having any kind of wound, at the beginning of each new deck, right away, if anybody's wounded, you have to draw a card, okay? You do a random number check. If you draw the card and it's red, the wounded man is dead. So easy to remember, red is dead, okay? And you do it right away. There's a way to prevent this, however. We haven't seen one of these cards in our game yet, but you know they will come up in our hands anyways. A hero card. A hero card is a card you can play right away, and it does a variety of things. But in the case of a wounded man, you can play it right when the deck is reshuffled, if you have it, to prevent having to do that check. It's kind of, this guy is a hero. He's able to soldier on past his wound, you know, past the limits of normal human endurance or whatever. So if you have a hero card, you can play it right away to prevent this check. So moving on with the German turn. All right, Germans are again in pretty good shape. We have 2 fire cards. Maybe we can get some crossfire going. We also have a wire card, which is really nice. Let's see. We have a pinned man over here, and he's only got a -1 adjacent with the wall, -2 across. So maybe we shoot at him twice. We could do that, try to get a little crossfire going. You know, another option, if we can raise up 5 firepower, which I'm sure we can, is to do 1 fire 3 attack. So that attack has a better chance of hitting someone, but you don't get the crossfire effect. And we also have our wire here. So if we're able to pin a lot of guys, we could drop a wire on them. So pinned wire and moving is the trifecta, but pinned and wire is pretty good too. So that'll get a lot of cards out of our hand too. Alright, so let's do that. Let's make sure we got the firepower we need. We are going to target the maneuver group here. They're a little higher morale. So when you're doing low firepower attacks, it can be more effective to go for the guys with really low morale. So actually, you know what? Even though there's a -2 here, let's go ahead and shoot at these guys. See what happens. All right. So let's start off with our weaker fire attack. And that's going to be a 4, our fire 1 here. And let's do that. Let's make sure these guys have enough. They're at range 3. And at 3, 2. That's 4, I believe. Move this out of the way. 2, 3. Nope, still in the way. Sorry. 4. Oh, said they're at range 3, actually, aren't they? Yeah. So take it back. That's 2, 4, 6. They got plenty. So let's go ahead and do our fire 1. Okay. Fire 1. And Americans get the chance to conceal. Wow, so tough decision here. This conceal card is awesome, right? It's a -3. And their starting shot is going to be at a -2 because we're in the woods. Whew. So I'd really rather not use that on a -1 attack because bigger ones may come. You know, we know about this crossfire thing just as well as our opponent does. So we're going to hold on to that concealed card. It's just too good to waste. So we're going to decline to conceal. And the Germans are going to start off with a -2 attack. Oh, sorry, -1 for the woods. So we have the fire attack of 1 -2 for the woods. Okay, let's resolve. -1, 0, -1, -4. Looking good so far. -1, -1, -1, -1. That's 4, and only one more. -1, and 2. And you can see this is a breeze card too in the vassal module. It's great because it makes it really explicit up there in the chat window. A breeze crosses the battlefield. There's no smoke, so you don't need to worry about that. But so 2 would be 1, and I'm pretty sure he can handle it. So awesome. So no effect. Americans are happy with that. Germans can handle it. Let me keep that fire card out. So now as the Germans, we can make a decision. Do we still want to do that fire 2 attack or not? Or do we want to do the fire 2 attack against a different group? You know, because it's the crossfire here, I think it's going to make more sense to do it across. There's less of a modifier. So let's go ahead and do that. They are going to shoot. I'm going to start with 2. Okay, we know we have that. I mean, we have to check the firepower, but all we need is 1. So we've got it. So this is just in the way, isn't it? There we go. Fire 2, -1 for the wall would put us at 1. Americans now maybe even a tougher decision to make, right? They're only at 1, but 1 plus, let's say they get a nice hit at 6. That's not going to kill anyone, but it'll pin them. You know, we'd also, as the American, maybe like to have some other cards in our hand. So this would be a way to get rid of a card. Look at all those movements. They're beautiful. But we don't want this whole group to be pinned. Remember what a pain it was to rally these other guys? So let's play it reluctantly. Alright. So now we're at a 2. -1 was 1. -3 is -2. So again, keep in mind that the Germans at this point could decide not to resolve. It still counts as an action, but let's say you don't want to risk breaking, having a weapon malfunction against a big group or something. You can choose not to resolve that attack because the odds aren't that good. Obviously if it was a higher number, you'd probably want to do it even in spite of the risk of malfunction, but these guys are pretty high morale too. So for example, if we think about this, he would need starting at -2, a 6 would only get us a 4, wouldn't do anything. 6 would get us a 4, 5 would get us a 3. Guy's panic is a 5, so even with a 6, he's not going to panic. His morale is 4. So without getting a 5 or a 6, we got nothing against these guys. So you know what? We've already got a weapon that malfunctioned in this group. Let's just pass that resolution. Alright, we got them to use this 3 concealed card. That was valuable. It's good that it's out of their hand. So we're going to call it, not a waste. Let's discard. And Germans are going to draw up. Okay. And back to the Americans.